Welcome to the Kobe Bryant Film Room. And today I want to react to Skap Attack's new video, The LeBron Rules, the rise of clutch sports and steroid allegations. Um, the reason why I want to go over this is because the last video I went over, a couple of videos ago, I went over Chris Broussard and Nick Wright trying to rewrite history, making LeBron James the best player in the league in his third and fourth year, right? Which wasn't true, right? And so I remember me and a subscriber were having a conversation down in the comments section, and he mentioned that they deleted Basketball 2.0's video, right? I was talking to Mr. Zeddy Perry 4, right, about this particular topic. And it made me think. I said, man, they're going after YouTubers, right? They haven't really gone after me yet, per se. But if I see something happen, if I see my neighbor's house get robbed, I know that that robber or thief is going to come and rob my house next, right? It's a possibility. So I'd rather do a preemptive strike, right? They've been insulting Kobe. They've been destroying his legacy, destroying his name, destroying his reputation, and we've been letting them get away with it. And they've been doing it for LeBron James, right? So without further ado, because I want to get into some of this stuff Skap is talking about, I want to jump on this shit with both feet, right? So we're going to get into it, right? Let's go.
Landscape of all-time great players throughout the history of professional basketball, with varying degrees of cases to their own individual claim on the mantle of greatest player of all time. And for 20 years,
and basketball has such a rich history, right? Man, you got the 60s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s. I mean, all these decades, right? And what the media wants to do is destroy that and promote one man. And even though I'm a Kobe fan, right? I never wanted to just give Kobe all the credit and nobody else none of the credit, right? I always wanted to appreciate our legends. And I think a lot of Jordan fans are like that. Now, you got some extreme Jordan fans that make everything about Michael Jordan, right? But I think a lot of NBA fans were like that, right? We might have a difference of opinion of who we feel is greater, but we appreciate Michael Jordan. We appreciate Larry Bird, Magic, Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell, all the great players, Oscar, Jerry West, all the great players. And when we talk about them, we talk about them with such of a level of respect and admiration for them, right? Even the ones that aren't the greatest legends, right? But I want to say this, with a lot of LeBron fans, and this is not all LeBron fans because some of them are reasonable, but I'm talking about the ones that are in the forefront of LeBron, right? Of slandering and disrespecting every single basketball player, even LeBron's teammates, right? Who don't even say anything, by the way. Mo Williams doesn't say shit. You don't ever hear Big Z come out and say anything to defend himself. But we're going to defend these guys. You know why? Because they've been attacking these guys for years, calling them bums, right? He carried nothing to the finals, right? And so the disrespect, we love Pau Gasol. We love Lamar Odom, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, all the role players, Trevor Ariza, all the role players, right? But they disrespect everybody for one man. They try to rewrite history for one man. And we're going to take down the narrative. Now, how we look at LeBron after this is he's a great player. But we need to put him where he belongs as far as the history of the game. He's one of the greatest players ever. We have to stop the cap, though. We can't add extra sugar on this shit. Let's go.
LeBron James has been trying to tell us all about why he thinks he is the GOAT, tattooing Chosen One on his back as a teenager, bandying about the nickname of King, and just outright telling us he's the GOAT in recent years.
That's why it made me the greatest player of all time.
Throughout all of his embarrassing...
And I'm going to say something about that shit. Because he beat the Warriors in 2016, he's the greatest player of all time. The Warriors had a 73-9 record. Facts. But the Warriors weren't that same unbeatable team in the playoffs. You know why? Because the Warriors struggled in the playoffs. Right? Steph Curry was injured all throughout the playoffs. He struggled. The team wasn't the same. The team was banged up. The team had injuries. Right? I believe the 2010 Boston Celtics would have beat that Warriors team. Hell, the 2008 Boston Celtics would have beat that Warriors team, in my opinion. I feel like the 2004 Detroit Pistons would have beat that Warriors team. I feel like the San Antonio Spurs, there's plenty of teams better than them, right? The fucking 2003 San Antonio Spurs will beat them. Plenty of teams will beat that Warriors team, man. But they overrate that Warriors team in order to boost up his legacy. Right? When we think about all the Showtime Lakers will beat that Warriors team. The 2001 Lakers will beat that Warriors team. Fuck, the Orlando Magic with Penny and Shaq could beat that Warriors team. I just think we need to fucking stop, bro. Stop glorifying this shit, bro. Stop. Stop overhyping the Warriors. Stop it. Niggas was dropping like flies in that series. Bogut went down. Steph was hurt. Iguodala had injuries. Niggas were dropping like flies, bro. Let's just stop with the bullshit. Draymond Green gets suspended. Stop.
Unapologetic, self-aggrandizing through the years has been his inner circle of sycophants, helping to carry on and push the brand of LeBron. An elite inner circle which contains high-powered sports agents and high-profile media personalities, if not full entities, and the NBA itself. As for whatever reason, the National Basketball Association and its media has coddled, protected, and advanced the interests and legacy of the self-proclaimed king from almost the very beginning.
That's a fact, and now you can't even criticize the nigga on YouTube without them taking your channel down. Now, I remember a while ago, Skap had put out the Redeem Team, a video about the Redeem Team, and the motherfuckers took it down. They took it down. Just because he covered the truth. Now, he may have said it in a certain way, right? But he wasn't cursing like I do. He won't cursing. You know what I'm saying? He was just giving alternative facts, right? He was giving the alternative. He was giving them the truth, right? These guys are running around demonetizing people's videos. And look, guys, I don't do this for the fucking money. So that shit don't work on me. That shit don't work on me, bro. I do this to get the truth out because I got tired of having debates with stupid motherfuckers.
And in many instances, just outright hiding stories of collusion, league rules violations, obvious failures on the court, and repeated connections to steroids. The story of LeBron James is one that has been authored by a petulant child from Akron and parroted by multi-billion-dollar organizations. These are the LeBron rules. And from an early age and stage of LeBron's career, we have seen this manufactured narrative surrounding him. The chosen one. After all,
and they're all narratives. Like we're whenever we address something, there's so many lies about this guy's career. It makes us look like we're just obsessed with him. No, bro. If you're speaking the truth, we gotta tear down one lie just to deal with another. They done built a house of lies around this nigga. So we have to take it down brick by brick. It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous what they're doing to the game of basketball.
It isn't just the tattoo.
Think about it. Basketball is not even fucking competitive anymore. When do you see the best players actually guard each other? We ain't seen LeBron and KD play each other in fucking years. You get what I'm saying? We got an Embiid Jokic matchup, what, once? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Niggas ain't guarding each other. Niggas is teaming up. And when niggas win the title, they claim they're the best. But we really don't know because they don't guard each other. We don't know who's the best.
Yes, inked on his back. It was the headline of the Sports Illustrated article about LeBron James, which was published in 2002, when LeBron was still just a junior in high school. And that article and headline actually preceded LeBron getting the famous tattoo, and it served as the impetus for
That's back in the day where I liked LeBron, like a lot. Like when Kobe was winning, and I was looking like, yo, this kid out of high school, bro, this dude's looking like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan wrapped up in one. I mean, he could do everything, right? He could do everything on the court. And I was like, yo, he got next. I think everybody thought that. Everybody, like, a lot of us don't want to hate on him. Like, a lot of us, we wanted him to be the best. We weren't holding on to Kobe. We wanted LeBron to be the best. I thought he literally was going to be the best. I thought he was going to be a fucking monster. But then he just changed, bro. He's different now. It's about storylines now. And he didn't achieve what I thought he was going to achieve.
The article came at a time when Michael Jordan was in his final act with the Wizards, and the NBA was desperately searching for a new cash cow. And the NBA sports media was ready to play their part in the promotion and legacy creation of LeBron in his first season when he hit the NBA, and they gave him Rookie of the Year that season, despite it being...
He ain't lying. He ain't lying, y'all. They literally handed that shit to him. It's sad, man.
Fairly obvious that Carmelo Anthony deserved the award, with Melo averaging more points and rebounds per game while outshooting LeBron from every level.
It's sad, bro. It's sad. And word around the street is they prevented Melo from playing these last couple of years because they didn't want him to be up there and scoring. But y'all ain't hear about me. That's allegedly, y'all. Wink, wink.
The field and taking the Nuggets to the playoffs in the more difficult Western Conference, as Denver won 8 more games that season, which was an improvement from the year before of 26 games versus the Cavaliers, who experienced just an 18-game improvement from the year prior. The media then decided to hand LeBron back-to-back league MVPs in just his age 24 and 25.
And I don't even think the nigga went to the playoffs that year. That's the sad part. He didn't even make the playoffs and he still got Rookie of the Year.
NBA seasons, despite Kobe Bryant having the 1 seed both seasons in the drastically more difficult Western Conference while winning back-to-back NBA championships, as LeBron choked and fizzled out in each of those 2 playoff seasons. The pro-LeBron media was so desperately pushing the LeBron versus Kobe pipe dream finals matchup.
And you know what? In the last video I did with the Chris Broussard and the Nick Wright, he talked about 2000. They were comparing 2007 LeBron to 2023 LeBron. It's the same. Now, when it comes to numbers, right? When Kobe was putting up all those big numbers, you know what they turned around and said? His team is not doing good, right? They penalized him and said, well, how could he be the best player in the league, right? When his team wasn't playing well, right? He was playing well, but he wasn't uplifting his team, which was a lie. He was uplifting his team. There was just so much he could do because his roster wasn't that great. But when LeBron, year 2020, in 2023, year 20, put up 29 points per game, the Lakers were in the 13th spot, right? And this is a year where they have a play-in tournament, y'all. They didn't have a play-in tournament back then. And LeBron had two top 75 players with him on the roster. They actually made the playoffs when his ass was out. They were better without him. But the media keeps praising these statistics. But when we talk about Kobe's stats, right, during those years when he didn't have the team to compete for a championship, they say, yeah, he was great as an individual, but he wasn't a team player. He was selfish. What do you call LeBron last year? He went for the scoring title, and we fucking lost the game. Double standard, bro. Double standard. When Kobe had the best record in the league, they gave the MVP to LeBron because it's individual numbers. When Kobe started talking, trying to be a great teammate and trying to lead his team, they changed the criteria. Now it's individual. But then we go back, they change it again. Right? Now it's not about individual being an individual. It's about being a great teammate. Right? Then Kobe tries to become a great teammate. Nope. We're gonna go back to the individual statistics so that LeBron can win the award. Right? Right? In the East. Right? The weakest conference probably in the history of the league, bro.
Both seasons, LeBron flamed out with the embarrassing Kobe and LeBron puppet Nike campaign. And major outlets were silent in the wake of allegations that James quit on the Cavaliers in the 2009-2010 playoffs amid stunning accusations that LeBron's own teammate Delonte West was sleeping with LeBron's mother. They then also largely remained hush-hush on any criticism for LeBron about colluding behind his existing franchise's back.
And he definitely did collude, right? Because they had talked at the Olympics. Wade talks about how, I think it was Wade, talked about how Carmelo was supposed to be the third guy, not Chris Bosh. Right? So that was definitely collusion, right? But nothing happens.
Wrapped a super team in Miami with his bestie Dwayne Wade. Not only was the preeminent sports broadcasting superpower ESPN startlingly silent about the grotesque and potentially league-destroying move, they championed it by airing The Decision, a 75-minute epic cringe fest hosted by Jim Gray on their airwaves. And less than 1 year later from The Decision, LeBron was, again, barfing all over himself on the biggest stage, crapping his pants.
Now, you know what's interesting about that 2011 finals? Now, the LeBron maniac fans, like his weirdest fans, are saying it was Dwayne Wade's fault. It was Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh that didn't show up. You gotta be fucking kidding me. They're literally saying this now. And they're starting to say Miami wasn't a super team. These motherfuckers think we're stupid. They're really trying to convince us Miami was just a regular team. These niggas is hoes, man.
The NBA Finals with a 2-1 lead against the drastically undermanned Dallas Mavericks. A team with one All-Star compared to the LeBron, Bosh, Wade super team. James was the 5th leading scorer for that series and 3rd leading scorer on his own team. But the following season, in 2011-2012, LeBron was rewarded by the fanboy media.
So thank you, LeBron James, for what you bring to our league.
Desperately trying to...
And see, he was the MVP, and the weirdest part about being the MVP is that, bro, he was on a bomb squad. So usually it's like, yo, how can you give a nigga that? I know he's playing well, and I understand he's playing well. But, bro, look at what the team he's on. They're supposed to fucking win. It was just weird, bro.
Played his legacy. The guy can't win any championships, so let's go ahead and hand him his 3rd league MVP in 4 years at just the age of 27. The super team Miami Heat that preseason were plus 225, making them overwhelming title favorites.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But now they're trying to say this nigga's was the underdog for those championships. This shit is fucking sick.
Season had just the
Hey, I appreciate Skap. I appreciate you for the facts, bro. We just getting the truth out here, bro. And y'all niggas can get y'all panties in a bunch about this, but they're facts, bro. Just stop dick riding and just take in the facts, bro. Take in the truth, bro.
Best record in the NBA and second best record in their own Eastern Conference. They didn't even win the 1 seed in their own conference.
So it's not even. So it's not about. I want you. This is why I don't give a fuck about MVP awards. It's not about anything, right? Rather than just people like you. It's not about the team success, right? It's clearly not about the team success. And it's clearly not about the individual, because once you start performing as an individual, they don't want to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So they can switch the criteria at any moment in time just to maintain whatever storyline they're trying to portray.
Lofty preseason expectations and a stacked super team. But let's just go ahead and give him the league MVP that year. And when LeBron decided to jump back to Cleveland after a humiliating defeat at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs, James
was ass whooping for the ages, y'all. Tim Duncan put his foot. Kawhi Leonard and them stomped them boys out and let the bouncers take him out of there.
Never criticized. He went from taking his talents to South Beach 4 years earlier.
In this phone, I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach.
To returning home. Never discussed was the fact James delivered just 2 titles out of 4 years. Following his humiliating declaration, they would win 8 titles with him there.
Not 5, not 6.
And we've seen the way the Spurs guard him. They guard him at the free throw line. Now these clowns is trying to come back years later and say he's a great three-point shooter.
LeBron's time in Miami should be viewed in no other light than as an unmitigated failure. Instead, it is used as a legacy-building cornerstone for LeBron James. And when he tucked his tail between his legs and crawled out of town for the second time in his career, well, that wasn't talked about either. The narrative just became LeBron going home to take care of money.
And you know what's crazy? I remember this shit like it was yesterday, bro. When he joined the Cavs, bro, when he got there, he knew they had assets, right? This is how devious sports media is. They knew the Cavs had assets. They plotted this shit. They knew Kyrie Irving was an all-star. So all you gotta do is flip that all-star, get Kevin Love, and you back in business, right? So as bad as the Cavs were, Kyrie was fucking amazing. Then you add the best power forward in the league on your team, and you have another super team. What fucked him up was the Warriors came out of nowhere. Steph Curry emerged, right? Right on time. Steph Curry stopped LeBron from winning because LeBron was supposed to have an easy road to 6, right? He was supposed to have an easy road to pass Jordan, right? But the Warriors emerged. Steph Curry emerged as a megastar, right? That year, the Cavs were the favorites. Y'all hear me? They were the favorites, bro.
Finished business instead of what it really was. James joining an ascending all-star level talent in Kyrie Irving while having the Cavaliers leverage the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft that season to acquire a second-team All-NBA player in Kevin Love.
Sad,
coming
bro.
off
Now
of
they're
a
trying to say Kevin Love wasn't a great player either.
whole individual season. But the NBA's media, and primarily ESPN, cannot possibly risk upsetting their delicate golden boy LeBron James, as the NBA represents a major segment of ESPN's broadcasting rights. So much so that ESPN pays the NBA $1.4 billion annually through the 2024-2025 season, at which point there are rumors that the NBA will be seeking to triple that amount. As a result, LeBron James and his inner circle Tank Dogs have an undeniable influence on the narratives being produced and promoted on that network. Former ESPN host Michelle Beadle recently went on record about the fact LeBron messaged her directly and tried to get her fired.
I made fun of the decision, and I got a DM. It was like, why are you so mean to me on television? And I just sort of laughed it off. I didn't even think about it, right? Of course I took it personally. It was personal, like he wanted to be fired and tried to do that.
She also indicated that according to her sources and others within the industry, this kind of thing is common practice.
But then I found out after the fact, like when all this sort of came out, I would get messages or I would get like texts or video from people being like, exact same, like that kind of shit was happening to them too. Like he was super petty and he would try to have some sort of an effect.
Yeah, Michelle Beadle is no longer employed by ESPN. Who is employed by ESPN, though, is the foremost LeBron hype man himself, Brian Windhorst, who...
The Hamburglar himself, y'all. It looked like Barney and shit.
coincidentally graduated from St. Vincent St. Mary's, which is the same high school as LeBron James himself.
And let me say this. LeBron created that nigga's career. Brian Windhorst would be a nobody without LeBron James.
And he coincidentally started covering LeBron during...
And I want to say this. Salute to LeBron James for putting his homeboys on. You know, we're saying all this shit about him, but it's true shit. But I want to salute him for putting his homeboys on. Because every person that he's been around is eating. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, even though we don't like what he's doing and he's doing some bitch ass shit, salute to him for that.
His playing career in high school for the Akron Beacon Journal and later the Cleveland Plains Dealer. When LeBron took his talents to South Beach, Windy took his talents to ESPN, moving on to the Miami Beat at just the age of 32. Mm-hmm. Since then, Windhorst has moved markets at every stop of LeBron's career.
Collusion, when LeBron packs his bags, which he normally does when he gets his ass whooped. Windhorst packs his bags. He sleeps on the other side of the bed. Shannon sleeps beside LeBron. Windhorst sleeps on the other side of the bed. And Nick Wright is the towel boy.
While rising through the ranks at ESPN, becoming one of their preeminent basketball analysts, and touting LeBron James one puff piece after the next on both ESPN's airwaves and print platforms.
In my mind, LeBron's an absolutely brilliant passer, maybe the best ever. LeBron's had as great of an impact off the court as just about any player in all of professional sports. So I could argue that the comeback that LeBron led in the 2016 finals from 3-1 down is arguably one of the greatest performances in the history of the playoffs.
All the while, ESPN, amid a slew of firings in recent years, continues to employ various other high-profile LeBron jock sniffers.
Hey, you know what's crazy, right? You get rid of Jalen Rose, who was great for the game, right? Mark Jackson, Van Gundy, these guys were great for the game. They spoke what they saw, right? So Van Gundy and Mark Jackson would speak about the referees and how they're officiating the game, right? Don't be surprised if this year nothing's said about the referees. I'm telling you, this year they're going to insult the fuck out of your intelligence. I still don't think they're going to win, but bro, if they're able to do that shit last year and get away with it, you think they're going to stop? Officiating is going to be worse than last year.
Such as Kendrick Perkins, who is routinely critical of virtually every NBA player except LeBron James.
Well, you know, I can't vote for Nikola Jokic for MVP because Nikola Jokic, he white. And I just can't understand why he gonna win 3 straight MVP awards. You know, because Martin Luther King and Marcus Garvey can't have Nikola Jokic win another MVP because what we're gonna do as a people if Joel Embiid don't win it.
Offering one impassioned defense of his legacy after the next, And that is in between other terrible takes and race-baiting narratives like Nikola Jokic didn't deserve the MVP and was only in consideration somehow because of his skin color.
It's only 3 guys that won the MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Steve Nash, Jokic, and Dirk Nowitzki. Nah. What do those guys have in?
You know, I'm from Beaumont, Texas, and my family had to fight with the Klan, Stephen A. You know, so how can he win an MVP if he white? I just don't understand that. You know what I mean?
Come on, I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it.
What?
But let's lay off of any criticisms of LeBron, shall we?
This is not tennis. What rings and championships define your legacy? How about the individual accolades? Because you could be on a team that just don't have the pieces.
Yeah, let's just be a selfish motherfucker and give me all the praise for losing. Yeah.
And you could be doing more than your part, which LeBron James has been doing his entire career.
Ain't that? But I want you guys to think about it. They want to praise stats. But ain't that the epitome of a selfish player? One that just plays for himself and one just plays for his own personal achievement and stats rather than trying to win a championship as a team, as a great teammate? Isn't that the epitome of a selfish motherfucker? What they're trying to praise him for?
Has done their
Where it's all about him and not about the team? Because the championship ring is an ultimate team accomplishment. But it shows you as an individual your impact on the team. So if you get all these stats and you're not winning, you as an individual do not have the greatness to elevate your teammates. So how great can you be?
Best to promote and advance the fake legend of LeBron with various media shills and other high-ranking sports networks aside from ESPN. As Nick Wright, leading LeBron propagandist.
The Defensive Player of the Year is Nick Wright. Hey, Defensive Player of the Year 2023 is Nick Wright.
Has rapidly advanced through the industry to become one of the leading voices of Fox Sports Network.
LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's final. And all he's done since then is continue.
While preeminent jock rider Colin Cowherd just traded in his ESPN credentials for a move to Fox Sports.
But when you put the magnifying glass on LeBron, he just does a lot more at a much higher level than Michael Jordan.
As the media continues to push the agenda of LeBron's GOAT
He does more than Michael Jordan, but he's won a lot less. Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
They also continue to hide or outright ignore damaging stories about LeBron, such as his continued hypocrisy regarding the China situation. Namely that James has painted himself as some kind of modern-day social justice
LeBron was capping so much for China, I thought he was going to have chopsticks in his hands.
while simultaneously going out of his way to hypocritically defend China, such as when Daryl Morey spoke out against human rights violations there, standing with protests in Hong Kong. LeBron, though, had China's back, criticizing Morey and protecting his own interests, which primarily involved his own pocketbook.
I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl. Morey.
Today, Junior!
But I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and so many people could have been harmed.
So ain't that shit crazy when somebody doesn't disagree? When somebody doesn't agree with you, right? Now they're uneducated, right? Because I have a different viewpoint. Now I'm uneducated. I hate when people do that shit.
Financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Spiritually, ecumenically.
When you say things or do things, you're doing it.
I hate when people say that type of shit, bro. Because that's to me, that's just like, yo, you're just self-righteous like a motherfucker, bro.
And you know the people that can be affected by it. and the families and the individuals and lives affected by it.
James is also amassed
Skap is a
remarkable-
fool, bro. Skap's a goddamn fool.
the most impressive career in NBA history in terms of durability and longevity, which is the source of another potentially criminally underreported story flying around the self-proclaimed king. As former MMA fighter and self-professed doper Chael Sonnen recently accused LeBron of not only using performance enhancers, but claims he also knows exactly what LeBron is using.
If the world understood what LeBron did,
See, my only problem with Chael Sonnen is that he said all that, but he should have showed the proof. He didn't have the proof. So when you come out and say that, then that gives people leeway to say, hey, he's just full of shit. He's bullshit. Even though I tend to believe that type of stuff, because man, I seen that dude. I watched the game where he lost a whole bunch of weight, and he wasn't athletic like that. He could barely get up. He wasn't running as fast as usual. And then he took a vacation and came back jumping out the gym. And I said, whoa. I paused for a second. I said, whoa.
the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It's the key
Allegedly.
of performance enhancers.
EPOs are natural occurring hormones that stimulate the bone marrow to create more red blood cells and thus substantially increase endurance levels. And for purposes of this conversation, HGH, or a human growth hormone, boosts muscle and bone growth to promote recovery. And HGH is, if someone were using, hypothetically of course, the hardest PED to test for. This is because HGH remains in the system a maximum of 2 days. But is LeBron actually using? It would be extremely irresponsible to take walking mouthpiece Chael Sonnen's word for it. And while there has been nothing definitively proven throughout his career, there is.
And that's why he couldn't. It was kind of stupid for him to come out and say that without the evidence.
Of smoke surrounding the longevity king. And in terms of
But you gotta ask, why didn't LeBron sue him?
eye test alone, LeBron's body has undeniably gone through some alarming physical transformations throughout the course of his 20-year career, while his durability has remained at unprecedented levels. And his 4-year stint in Miami coincided with substantial gains in muscularity. James, of course, played in Miami from the years of 2010 to 2014. And it was coincidentally in 2013 in Miami where the Biogenesis scandal erupted, linking several Major League Baseball players to PEDs, including Alex Rodriguez, Ryan Braun, and Nelson Cruz, among many others. The mastermind of the alleged health clinic was Anthony Bosch. And in recently unredacted federal documents, LeBron James's longtime friend and business manager, Ernest Mims, as well as his former trainer, David Alexander, who also served as LeBron's wife's personal trainer, were both specifically named as clients of Biogenesis. I'm certain this is all
And that's a crazy ass coincidence to believe that the two niggas closest to him had didn't talk to him about any of that shit. But they worked with his wife.
one big coincidence. But when he went back to Cleveland for the 2014-2015 season at the age of 30, LeBron seemed to be declining in both athleticism and stamina. Thus, on December 30th, 2014, LeBron decided to take a bizarre 2-week leave of absence.
Oh, he did it again? I didn't even know this. That nigga on that Popeye spinach. God damn.
From the Cavaliers to return to Miami for some R&R. The Cavs at the time were only 18-13 and in 5th place in the Eastern Conference. And in the final 8 games before his leave of absence, LeBron averaged just 24.4 points per game, 4.8 rebounds.
You know, with the crazy LeBron fans, if it's found out that that he was taking them, right? If allegedly, them niggas would be in denial anyways, or either they'll make an excuse like, well, everybody else takes them too. Then they say, let's do an investigation on Michael Jordan. They will not. They will, talking to these niggas is like telling them Santa's not real or the Easter Bunny's not real, right? They will not accept the truth, no matter how it's delivered. They're always gonna say, well, he still did what he did.
8 assists on 48% shooting from the field. When he returned from the 2-week hiatus, his explosion and athleticism had mysteriously returned to form from years prior. And in the 8 games following his return, he averaged 30.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists on 51% shooting. LeBron's return to form would coincide with the Cavaliers'
I didn't know that. That's fishy.
Jump from the 5 seed to the 2 seed over the remainder.
I'm not saying he cheated, but it's fishy, guys. It's fishy.
That season. Nothing to see here, just more coincidences. But in late February of this most recent 2023 NBA season, LeBron crumpled to the ground while a hot mic picked up an undeniable statement by the King that he felt a pop. Following a diagnosis by the team and the admission from LeBron himself, he tore a ligament in his foot.
I tore a tendon in my foot.
Various reports indicated that the injury could potentially be season-ending, or perhaps James would be able to return to the team if they went deep enough into the playoffs. Yet miraculously, LeBron would return earlier from the injury than any of the doctors anticipated, because according to LeBron himself, he was healing faster than any of the doctors had ever seen.
When did you?
Yo, I remember reading that report and thinking, yo, this is some fuck ass shit. How the fuck is this nigga back? And their explanation was he has magical healing properties. Hey, this nigga Skap got Wolverine on the screen. Goddamn. Yo, you guys, yo, this shit is fucking ridiculous the more you think about it, yo. I can't.
You get a sense of you would have
Stop.
a plan to get you back faster than what the normal. When the doctors told me I was healing faster than anybody I've seen before with the injury.
Yo, if you believe this nigga's not juicing, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But hey, look, I'll tell you this, bro. When they came out with that report, bro, my face was like, what? They say he got magical healing properties. Like, what the fuck?
Unprecedented healing never before seen by any doctors. For an athlete with unusually high usage and wear and tear in his 20th season at the age of 38. Just so many coincidences. Totally feasible though. Nothing to see here. And likely nothing the NBA doesn't already know is happening.
So thank you,
LeBron
James.
They probably walked up to him and gave it to him. I can see Brian Windhorst running up the steps. And you know what? I'm wrong for that. Because he don't look like he'd ever run. But I can see Brian Windhorst running up the steps to LeBron's house. And just went, LeBron, I got a package for you. Allegedly.
For what you bring to our league.
As neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, who is an associate professor of neurology at Stanford University School of Medicine, recently was a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast when he went on record with reports from an active NBA player.
I know someone who's a professional basketball player, and I asked him about steroids, and he said, well, if you get injured, you can take up to 200 mgs a week, which is considered a TRT dose, is allowed, according to this player. But that's actually a pretty big dose.
Could the smug interviews with LeBron bragging about his unprecedented healing at the age of 38 be because, in fact, he knows his level of importance to the NBA is too high for them to risk outing him? Well, it wouldn't be the first time the NBA has gone above and beyond to protect the legacy of their king cash cow. As one of the worst kept secrets in the entire sport is his obvious connections with Clutch Sports Group, which was found by sports agent.
Hey, y'all, one day y'all gonna be looking through my videos and y'all gonna see hundreds of Kobe Bryant videos and videos on 2000s and shit. And then one day you're gonna look up, you're gonna see that one video. And I'm gonna say, I changed my mind. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I'm gonna apologize to everybody in the media, and I'm taking that Clutch Sports check, bro. I gotta feed my family, bro. Hey, I got bills, bro. I take all that shit back. I said, bro, I was just playing. I got bills, bro.
CEO and longtime LeBron confidant Rich Paul, who met
Clutch
James
Sports is feeding niggas out here in these streets
while selling jerseys out of his car in 2002 when James was still in high school.
That nigga was the Master P.
that guy.
He was on some Master P shit before LeBron.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, he founded Clutch Sports Group in 2012 with LeBron James, his primary client. Today, Clutch has emerged as a powerhouse agency, managing over $8 billion.
Rich Paul out there got fur coats and shit now, moving like a Don and shit. Hey, LeBron put his niggas on, dog.
Worth of annual contracts with 30 NBA clients, which is more than all but one other powerhouse agency, managing over $8 billion worth of annual contracts with 30.
Hey, Tristan got one of them P. Diddy outfits and then 1997 and shit. God. LeBron got Tristan that new contract and in Cleveland, boy.
The NBA clients, which is more than all but one other sports agency in the world. While the NBA has officially investigated LeBron's connections with the agency, they have found no wrongdoing and that he doesn't officially.
And by the way, is that Miles Bridges in that picture?
The NBA has officially investigated LeBron's connection.
Yeah, to the far right, he had something going on with him and this girl, and he got out of that shit. And I think he did a press conference, not a press conference, an interview. He's back with the Hornets now. So don't be surprised if Clutch Sports helped him out with that little problem he had.
With the agency, they have found no wrongdoing and that he doesn't officially hold any stake with the company. Yet Charles Barkley recently went on record and indicated that everyone knows how it is with Clutch and their bullying tactics, while an unnamed rival agent recently alleged that it is a well-known fact in NBA circles that LeBron does all of the recruiting for Clutch.
It's genius though, right? You sign a nigga to an agency, and then you can get all the help that you need during your career. The player gets paid, you benefit. It's genius though. It's a grind, bro.
And
it's
one
genius.
of those recruits, Anthony Davis, of course, who signed with Clutch.
And whoever signs with Clutch, the next few years they'll be playing with LeBron James. They ignorant as hell.
September of 2018.
And fucking Trae Young signed with Clutch. Oh shit. He's in rumors to go to the Lakers now.
Months later, in January of 2019, Davis would inform the Pelicans that he wanted to trade through his agent Rich Paul, a violation of NBA rules, since he was still under contract for an entire year. Further, Rich Paul made it clear that Davis would not accept a trade to any other team.
And the nigga wouldn't play for his team, bro. I do not know. Well, we know how they get away with it because the NBA just lets him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. It's disgusting, bro.
Except for the Lakers, which of course was LeBron's team. Anthony Davis, a top 5 player in the NBA at the time, had plenty of other suitors. But New Orleans had no choice but to trade Davis to LeBron.
But they blocked the CP3 trade They won't let Kobe get CP3, but they move heaven and earth so this nigga could go play with LeBron.
Gladly consummated this trade between New Orleans and Los Angeles. Does anyone
I just
recall
brung that
a
up.
suspicious
I just brung that up. Me and Skap were thinking alike. I just brung that shit up.
veto trade between New Orleans and Los Angeles in 2011 that would have paired prime Chris Paul with Kobe Bryant? Probably had something to do with desperately trying to get LeBron some championships, as he still had zero at that time in his career. He, of course, would go on to win his first career title that very season, only after the NBA killed the Chris Paul to LA trade for Kobe, which would have paired Bryant.
And Chris Paul was a stud back then. Chris Paul was fucking everybody up, crossing niggas over, throwing lobs. I mean, Chris Paul was nasty. And I'm doing a video on Chris Paul. I just put out a short about Chris Paul. Y'all check that out. Hit that like, y'all. Hit that like. And if y'all haven't subscribed, subscribe, bro. I'm going to do a Chris Paul video later on.
CP3, 2 top 5 MVP finishers that season, and both were named first team All-NBA that year. The NBA blocked and vetoed that trade for basketball reasons, despite LeBron having a bona fide super team in Miami at the time. And nothing to
say. That nigga had the only super team in the league. They did not want another super team to rival them. It was supposed to be an easy cakewalk to the finals. Being he was in the East, he had as much as he needed to keep winning. He should have won at least 10 championships. Bro, no, at least 7. I say he should have won at least 7 championships, given the situation he was in.
Here with that Anthony Davis to LA trade, LeBron's agent and best friend forcing a franchise that had Anthony Davis under contract to trade him to LeBron's team. And that very season, the Lakers behind Anthony Davis would go on to win the NBA championship. Davis led those playoffs in points scored, win shares, and was largely viewed as the best defender in that postseason. You can make a viable case. He was the Lakers' best player on that title run that resulted in LeBron's 4th title. And that, of course, resulted in LeBron wanting his damn respect.
Hey, he said, AD, you can hold this shit for 10 minutes. You better get this shit right back, nigga. You know I'm taking the MVP home no matter how well you play.
And of course, for his media flunkies to ratchet up more fake GOAT commentary. So how exactly does a career loser who has been in the NBA for 2 full decades and counting now, winning only 4 championships, despite unprecedented luck, team hopping, and roster stacking, managed to weasel his way into not simply Mount Rushmore conversations, but GOAT debates? Well, it has certainly not been easy. And as the saying goes, it takes a village to
It's a lot of lying.
Raise a child. It has taken a massive collaboration between multi-billion-dollar organizations
a lot of money behind this nigga.
Conceal and lie LeBron's way to the top. And heavy is the head that wears a crown.
And so here's the thing, right? We're coming to y'all media people who don't want to tell the truth, who want to lie, who want to manipulate the youth, who want to force opinions down our throats, right? Force narratives on us, right? We're coming for y'all. We're coming to expose y'all. So whatever you have in your background, you better clean that shit up, right? We're coming to expose whatever is going on with LeBron, right? Hopefully it's not too bad, but whatever he got going on, hopefully he cleaned it up. Because we're going to tell the truth about him, right? We're going to give him the credit that he deserves, but we're not giving him anything more than that. He's just getting what he earned, right? You guys want to give him too much credit. We're not doing that. We're going to honor him for the great player that he is, and we're going to leave it at that, right? All of this, he has to be number 1 on everybody's list and everything. Some people do have him number 1, and they have the right to that opinion. But you're not going to just tell us that this is the definitive, he has to be number 1. I'm talking to these guys, and they're telling me, no, LeBron has to be number 1. He has to be. And I'm sitting there looking at that nigga like I got my own opinion. I don't have to agree with you. And you don't have to agree with me. What is this? What is this? No means no, bitch. What is this? And so, no, we're coming after the narratives. We're coming after the lies. But we're not coming after LeBron's as a player. And I want y'all to notice that when I make these videos, I'm not coming at LeBron as a player, as far as him being a great player. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but his greatness has been highly exaggerated and the lies need to be exposed. Just the lies. Whatever's true about him, I'm cool with that. I just want the lies off the table. Because when we're having a basketball conversation, it has to be in truth. It has to be an honest basketball conversation. I'm not going to have a basketball conversation with a nigga who says Dwayne Wade was washed up in 2011. I can't have a basketball conversation when a nigga says Kobe wasn't a top 5 player in the 2000s. Can't have a basketball conversation with people like that. So we're going to be honest about LeBron's career, and we're going to get back to talking basketball. Right? For this is the Kobe Bryant Film Room. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'm out.